very confused.
Hello, Kuala Lumpur. Welcome back to another OG Monkey Business Show. I hope you enjoyed the Grand Finals day. We have some really amazing guests today with us to introduce Purge and Seb. How you guys
Hello.
doing?
Doing good. Doing good. The games were very good.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch. It looked like it was going to be very one-sided, like halfway through Game 3. I was kind of like, oh, that's unfortunate, but turned back around. Yeah, it's really good games.
What about you? Have you been to the venue?
No, I didn't get a chance to go actually this time around, but I saw shots of it and stuff. It looked amazing. It looked super packed. So I think the atmosphere must have been really good there.
Yeah, same situation for me. Like when I just look at the hub here, like the OG, how many people showed up, like how incredible the energy is and everything. I can't imagine how
Must
it was.
have been crazy. Must have been crazy. And I mean, I've got nothing against Gaming Gladiator, but I'm not unhappy that they didn't win this one. I think it was about time, to let somebody else taste, victory. And I think it's particularly cool that it goes to China. It's been a while. Yeah.
I was actually at a weird point where I was sick of them winning for a while, but it had been so many times now that I was like ready for it to keep going. Just like,
so what's going
how long
on?
is it actually going to keep going for? Because it is an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah. Is it that like denial stage, then acceptance stage? Is that
I think
what
so.
it is?
Yeah, something in there was like, I actually want to see how many times they're going to win tournaments. I mean, still top 2 is amazing. They were like 1 or 2 team fights away from just winning. So it's, but still, really good accomplishment for Azure, right? I think I'm definitely a fan of them now for sure. XM is a shit talker. I was into that because I feel like sometimes the Chinese players are a little conservative with their words. So that was cool.
I feel like the fight was going ham. Like he was like aggressively tipping non-stop. Like as soon as they started winning, I'm like, you better win now, bro, because holy, like you're actually going ham on them. But they won, so he got away with murder. I think.
I know you're a fan of the tipping play style.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you like them too.
I like it. But I don't know. Maybe that's not true because Emo also like trash talked pretty well. But I think usually I don't know why I feel like from Chinese teams you don't usually see it as much. Like they're maybe a little bit less aggressive, like in ultra and stuff. But that guy, he is complete savage.
Yeah. Did you catch the 2-team talk back and forth and everything?
No.
So I don't know. It was like an idea that brewed a little bit in the group stage, and they were like, well, let's put like a player and a player next to each other.
Like on the same couch.
Yeah, or in the same, like right before they walk in and try to get them to talk shit to each other. And it didn't work every time when it was Liquid versus Gladiators. Or no, it was like Bet Boom versus like, they were like, nice Santa hats.
Nice Santa
It wasn't
hat,
good.
yeah.
Nice what? Nice centaur?
Santa hats.
Okay, Santa hats.
It was like not even good, but the Chinese teams were like ready to say some shit. There was some good banter, and I feel like that's what led them to being more vocal in game because it's like they had good-natured shit talk 2 feet away from them with translators. So it kind of like encouraged
like an icebreaker kind of thing.
Yeah, because now it's like, okay, we're having fun talking shit. It's not like you're in a game in the zone and all of a sudden he tips you in a crucial match. I feel like
honestly, I would love to see more of that. Like I remember you having some Twitter fights, engagements, whatnot. It never led to anything serious in real life as it shouldn't. But I really think that we should see more of that from players. Like it makes them more human, right? Like
I think so. I think it's good content and. As much as I got flamed for it and our PPD got so much flack and so some other players, I'm sure people kind of miss it because the spice before the games, it's kind of cool. Like everybody was looking up for, like Ramses Quinn that happened at TI. I mean, everybody was watching that. I was watching that. I don't know, like OG, EG, despite whatever you might think, like it just brought more hype to the game. And I think the storylines at the end of the day are what, bring value to the games much because we get the same matchups over and over again, but actually the storylines behind are never the same. And I think that's why it's kind of nice to emphasize on the storylines and whatever it might be. Sometimes it just builds itself up because of matchups, because of team changes or whatever. And sometimes it is like some pre-game trash talk, And you're looking forward to who's gonna look good and who's gonna look really stupid. Because when you trash talk and you get owned, it's tough, man. It's tough.
Do you think that people are maybe afraid of, I don't know, just Reddit talking shit over them if they talk badly to another player, like the pro players that is, or?
I mean, that happened to me in that 3 months that I was a pro player too, because I made a lot of vlogs about how we expected to do, and a lot of the times, like we were extremely confident the first couple of months, and I remember one time I made a vlog about it, said like, oh, I think we're going to beat them next week. One of my teammates was like, oh, you shouldn't have said that publicly, because it'd be really embarrassing if we lose now, and I was just kind of like, but no, we're gonna win. Like I know we're gonna win. So
Did you
yeah.
win?
Yeah,
Of course we won. Yeah.
Okay,
of course.
because you didn't mention it. I was like,
We did really good for 3 months, and then we did really bad for 9 months.
But in those 3 months, you just said you were going to win, you were winning.
Yeah, we owned for 3 months for
Yeah,
sure.
that's also a good point, because I really like players that say they're going to win or shit talk before the game. Like, I don't really like if you shit talk after the game. Like, who cares, right?
Yeah.
Like, you've already won. Like, stop beating
agreed.
him while he's down.
Yeah, not cool. I think actually after the game, I think at least my philosophy has always been that after the game, it's the time of respect, and you got to respect also the people you faced and show them respect. For certain reasons, I think you can also respect their feelings and the fact that obviously it hurts to lose, and I think that deserves respect. So I usually hate that players, teams, or orgs, and I know that OG is something that we voiced like from the beginning to the social team is like, do not ever disrespect teams after we won. Like it also brings you down. I think if you're gonna put down who you just beat, it's kind of stupid also, right? If you think about it, because now you're like making it sound that you just beat somebody that was easy to beat. So it doesn't even serve you, like in any sense. Like it just doesn't make sense from all angles. But before the game, it's cool. You bring the hype up, you bring the team down that you have to face or whatever. You know, I think that's fine. But after, I don't like it. Sportsmanship only.
What about like talking shit and the level of disrespectful, I guess? Because it seemed good-natured this tournament to me because they were next to each other in person and they were encouraged by like a third party. But obviously things are taken different way for different people. So did you ever feel like you stepped on somebody's toes or created a grudge through your guys' tipping, or were you just already muted so it didn't matter?
No, for sure. But I think we definitely did. And we knew we did. And sometimes we did it on purpose because we wanted to get to their heads. Like if it's going to help us win.
Who did you get to their head? Like,
I mean,
which
I
players?
definitely feel like, so I remember when we played Snake Inc.'s team at TI, they were, what were they
Forward
called?
Gaming?
Vici, no, it was Vici J Storm or maybe they were newbie already. I don't remember which iteration it was, but it was that team. And I remember, so you know at TI you have the group stage, then you have like a big break, like a one-day break, but for players it's actually pretty big because TI is so intense. And then it's the media day, and all the players do interviews, leading up to the playoffs, and they say, you know, how they feel about the matchup and whatnot. So they made an interview that we happened to see, or was brought up to our attention, and they said that they were pretty confident against us because they had dominated their group, and that anyway we had like a goofy playstyle, and they don't think they can lose to such a goofy playstyle. So we all changed our team's picture it was the flag era where you could plant flags, and we all had versions of Goofy, you know, the
I
Disney
remember
character.
the images, but I had no idea that's
that was because of that. We're like, oh, we have a Goofy playstyle. So then
Which you did,
every time,
to be fair.
we probably did, and every time we would kill them or style on them or win a team fight, we would just plant Goofy styles, like Goofy flags everywhere on the map.
Smart, yeah.
And we could tell they were getting so tilted, you know, by that. So we just kept on going, you know. Against EG, it was the no-tail phase, like the stair. We would just plant the stair everywhere on the lane. I mean, there's no way it doesn't get to you because we're players too. It will get to us. So.
Of course, yeah, especially when everything is on the line, right?
Of
like you're in the
course.
tournament. And
But we would never do it when the loss would kind of happen, you know, like in game 3, when the throne dies.
after the game, you wouldn't do it, yeah.
Winner bracket, we would do it. Loser bracket, never. And obviously, grand finals, never. Like whoever it is. I think that's super rude. Like getting tipped when you're losing TI, I would never do this to anyone. There's no.
So you guys basically made it like some mental warfare besides the game, right? What happened today to Gaming Gladiators? What do you think? Like they've been winning all the grand finals. How did the Azure get to them?
From what I saw, it was Gladiators were kind of just snowballing entire games. The patch feels faster, and they did a ton of like bring 5 heroes to like this like 8 to 10 minute fight thing.
Yeah.
And by like game 3 of the finals, Azure was matching them, and they would win the fights. And then all of a sudden, Drachi was like, "I have a fucking urn on Weaver with 0 charges." And he didn't get any urn charges for 5 minutes. But the previous time he did that, it looked amazing. So it's like they matched their playstyle in game. And it like countered everything, and then they just outplayed him.
Do you guys think that maybe Azure needed some, I don't know, confidence? Because 2 games, they're kind of new, fresh, young.
I mean, I think somebody got mad after game 2, honestly. I don't know who it was, but backstage, somebody fucking yelled. Somebody was like, guys, like, let's just stop letting them get away with murder. Like, actually connect, bring heroes, because what you mentioned in game 3, I completely agree. I felt the exact same. There was this move where they start poking, I think the Storm, I don't remember. They poke mid, and then you have a TP from Centaur, TP from Void, like minute 6 or 7. You have like 3 cores from Azure TPing into the mid lane and actually killing these Gaming Gladiator support. And it's what you mentioned. I think Duracho Weaver, he connected to the rune check. because Gaming Gladiator, they're super scripted. Like they're in the sense that they have a really good system. They execute it to perfection. They check the runes. They bring the numbers. They outnumber you all the time. Make sure that Quinn gets the runes because he makes such good use of them. Then they rotate. They pressure the side lanes. Ace is free farming. The Retro is free farming, and they make sure that they're gonna keep farming because they won the mid battle and they have the rune, and the other mid laner is starving. So they know that whatever rotation they make, it cannot be matched by the opposing team.
Can you guys bring back the drafts one more time as well? I want to see Quinn. I feel like, was the Pango played in... No, it wasn't. One Pango, three Pango games.
But the third game, the third game he was Slaughter, and this is also the game that they started shutting him down completely. Like, they match every rotation. And it just felt good. And I think gaming, they probably got caught off by surprise, because honestly, I would have started sleeping on Zore also, because they were getting everything. They were getting away with everything. Game 1, Game 2, it felt like Zore, they were just not playing the game. They were not reacting. It's like, oh, you want to get the rune? Oh, you get the rune. You want to kill my offlaner? You kill him.
Do you think that's tilt or maybe just emotions on the grand final stage?
It's hard to tell. It could be either, but definitely they didn't respect what gaming was doing. You know, like the fact that they had a system and that these moves are gonna come. They come every game. And I think Game 3 they were ready. When these moves came, they matched it. And probably gaming was caught by surprise. It's like, oh well, faces Void TP then, you know, no, we're all dead. But so there was a big shift in Game 3 for sure.
But like you two said, like I have been calling for Gaming Gladiators to lose for a really long time, like for all the grand finals recently, and now I'm especially happy, like you said, because China won it.
Yeah,
I really think that's a pretty good deal for the whole region, right?
Yeah, I mean they had a tough year, right? There was, I think, one of the stats documents I read this morning was this would be the first time that a Chinese team had been in a finals for like over a year. I think,
which is crazy.
And the last time it was XXS was also there on some team. I don't know which finals it was, but it was
no,
a very
actually
long
in
time ago.
Genting, it was Aster versus OG. In Genting. That might have been, because Genting happened after Arlington. They were also in Arlington's final. I think it was Aster versus Team Spirit, Arlington Major. And Genting, I think, happened after, and it was OG Aster. And I think ever since, they haven't been to a grand final.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. So good for the region. And then they had lots of match fixing bans in the middle of the year, which basically like nuked half of their DPC, which meant their seeding was bad. And like it's hard to get like teams in to do well at DPC. Then there was only so few at TI. So it's just a really rough year for China. So good for them.
Yeah. Do you think that the fresh new talent that's growing in the scene is good enough to play in the tier 1 scene in the future? Like, is Azure all they've got, or are other teams also capable?
I mean, LGD disappointed this tournament, but G2IG looked really solid, like good in the groups. Then they crapped the bed in the playoffs, but I think they'll be able to bounce back. I'm sure LGD will be able to pivot in some way. And then also the rumors of Ame starting a team as well. So it's like they've got good talent spread out. Like that's at least like 3 good teams for when LGD gets it back together. So I think there's hope.
For now,
yeah.
By the way, you were doing the lower bracket finals, right? How was that? It's a little bit upside down. We started with the grand finals going back, but did you enjoy the speed run?
Team Liquid, they looked pretty solid. I really feel like they were an inch away from beating Azure. They were ahead in that third game, basically, or the second game. I don't remember the second game, and then they lost that team fight in near the Radiant Tri-Camp on that big cliff ward spot. They lost that fight there while being up like 7K, and then it just kind of was like, oh, Bounty's winning now. Bounty's getting track gold, getting more track gold, getting more track gold, and they lost. So I feel if they just won that second game, it just would have been Liquid probably losing in the grand finals against
the script is over finally.
I mean, it was so close. It was like one lost team fight difference. That was like the momentum shift for Azure was winning that fight, it feels like.
I mean, let's be honest. Liquid had 2 ways to stop the script. It's getting to the finals and beating Gladiator. That's a tough one. Or just losing in the lower bracket finals.
Which one do you think is more likely?
I mean, they got the job done. They stopped the script. As they promised they would, they did. They didn't get to the final. They didn't say how they were going to do it, but they did it. So, but honestly, like they should have won Game 2 for sure. Like they were on their way to winning it, and I think they had it. So Game 3 is a different story. I think it looked like a loss pretty early in the game, but Game 2 definitely they had it. I think they're popping off, and this bounty was everything but convincing, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
In like the first 25.
Yeah, it didn't look that good. I mean, he got track gold and stuff. Yeah, it just felt like he was there. It's like, yeah, he sorted at his job, but when you play Bounty and your first item is like BKB, you're like, that's
Yeah, you know
really
something's wrong.
boring, not
Yeah.
fun. I thought it was going to be some cool meta build. Now he's just like
So-
BKB Ags, Octarine.
Basically, before the Smurfs were banned, every mid game I played on my Ulterior account was Bounty Hunter mid for like a year and a half now.
What's the build?
My win rate is like 75-80%, by the way, on him. The build is pretty damn stupid. Like I go mid, phase boot, Orb of Corrosion, Manta.
That's pretty good. It's a good build.
As long as you're fast enough to join every single fight, it doesn't matter. Like I wouldn't even go Wags, right? Like
And you're probably really hard to kill because
super hard because
you
of the
dispel
talent
dust
as well. Yeah,
also.
yeah.
I respect that build. I respect that.
When I saw it, well, it started being picked up recently, right? It wasn't the first big bounty mid in the current patch, so.
Oh, it was the first of the patch. That makes sense.
Was it?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah. I think maybe in the tournament it was first, but
wouldn't be
maybe the last
surprised.
few weeks.
Yeah, I haven't seen one before. It was surprising to me, but
By the way, did you guys see the Manta plus Shard build as well on Bounty?
On Bounty?
Yeah. So basically, what the Shard does is you can invis.
They changed the shard in the last patch. Or what?
Yeah.
make an ally go invis.
Your ally can go invis, right?
Oh, so you're invising your Manta.
You're invising your Manta,
that's 200
and when
IQ.
the Manta hits, it actually stuns.
Wow. Okay. So you can chain stun.
So you can chain stun.
Oh, that's pretty good. And then I guess somebody sees like an invis Manta, they go on and like you take
Exactly.
all your spells.
It's like old school
I would
Meepo
black
with
hole.
Manta,
I would
right?
black hole this stuff,
Yeah.
like for sure. Yeah. It was, like
yeah.
Miracle was his first player to start the Manta trick, where you like Manta and then you move an illusion away. Now it's like that's also crazy with Dota because now I play pubs and I'm playing versus like let's say a 2K rank player, which all due respect to them, but they're not pro level. They do it. And I'm like, but you guys understand that like a year and a half ago, or maybe a little bit more, 2 years ago, there was only one player in the world capable of thinking about that and executing it. And now there's like
Everyone does it.
thousands of them.
One of the things you have to do, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
It's
like
like
one
when you don't do it,
hotkey.
you're like, are you dumb or what? Like what?
There's like one key on your keyboard dedicated to
Yeah.
that one trick that you always use it for.
And it works.
Then-
And it works.
yeah.
I don't know if you remember, I used to spam Meepo a lot as well
Yeah,
back
I
in the
remember
day.
that.
And-
Meepo and Ants, right?
Yeah. And well, like one of my first builds was always Manta. Like people would ask me, why don't you buy Blink? Don't you need any? No, just send the illusions in. Someone is gonna take the bait, right? They jump you, you just poof on them. 'Cause you could poof,
Yeah.
you still can. And like you said, they're gonna waste some spells on it, right?
It's worth it. Get vision, get some spells thrown at you, but yeah.
It's pretty good on him as well, right?
Yeah,
Because
it
of
is,
the
it
stats.
is, the stats.
By the way, speaking of items, are the new items fun? What do you think? Like, because I didn't even read what they do. There's 3 or 4 new ones.
There's quite a few.
Like
I mean,
Kanda or
meta-wise,
something?
I mean, the most impactful one obviously is Shiva's. It gives you 21 armor with the stats, 8
It's crazy.
strength. The build-up is amazing. It amplifies the magic damage you by 15%. Azure used it really well in
What's the build up, by the way? Do you know?
Sorry?
What's the build? What's the build
Well,
up?
it's a Veil of Discord first, which is a Helm of Iron Will, which works perfectly for any high HP offlane hero.
Oh, it's the dream
they
item
buy
for
it
offlane.
every single
Yeah,
game.
no one was
offlaners.
building Veil, right?
Yep, nobody built it because it was just kind of shit build-up, didn't build in anything. But now it's like a tanky offlane survivable item that transitions into an amplifier, and then they picked OD mid, all of his damage being amplified by this Shiva's Guard. That
I mean, the Veil
offlaner
effect
bought.
has always been great. I think it's just because the build-up was so bad that nobody would really buy it, and supports kind of felt bad buying it because it's only offensive, and most of the time on support you need like a defensive item.
Even if you're a Skyrat or something, it didn't.
I mean, I think some were buying it. Skyrath, typically, some of them were buying it, but I think they just felt better with other items. But now the build-up is perfect. It's super nice.
And it's weird because it's not necessarily coming from the hero that wants it.
Yeah, exactly. It actually isn't. I mean, you could argue that Primal Beast really enjoys it. Probably Timber does. I mean, it's fine for some heroes, but I'm sure you're going to see it on heroes that don't want it.
Yeah.
It's just a buff to the team.
Centaur is the best example. He does do a lot of
Yeah, he
magic
doesn't
damage,
care about
but
that,
he's like
100%.
not the most obvious thing. But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
armor that the EHP that you're getting from armor items is like mega good. So if you're getting 20 plus armor on a Centaur, that's probably equivalent to having a heart in terms of how much you survive against physical damage. So the
I
fact that
see
it-
you started working on your next patch.
Yeah,
video.
I mean, Azure does it for you. You just watch the games. And
Yeah.
one of the games they had Nyx Assassin. He gets Shard. That lowers magic resistance. Puck had Grove Bow and that green axe thing that lowers magic amp or whatever.
What's it called?
It's like-
Parasma or...
I think so, one of those.
Yeah.
But the way that magic resistance reductions work is that the more that you stack, they are amplifying each other. So, like,
Oh,
for
what?
example, when Pugna level 4 decrep, 60% magic resistance. Old Veil was 25. If you add those together, it's 85. But the reality is that the way the math works is it's 100. So they like amplify each other. So the more of them that you
Oh.
stack,
I'm getting
the better
better at
it is.
Dota. You gotta keep going because I didn't know that.
So if you watch the games, they were stacking all. I think that's why they're justifying Nyx Assassin. They're like, well, if I have easy access to all of these items that amp magic damage, then they're just including Chivas.
And this
it
Timber
just
was
stacks
like
up.
he was disappearing on Timber. Like he
Exactly.
Was just, okay.
What was the name of the custom game? Was it Year Beast or something? I remember that people were using Necro and Pagna and everything, like the Crep 5 Veil, Reaper Sight.
Just like abuse the magic amp.
Yeah, exactly. Just to kill it in a second. I guess that's
it's a really good way to amp damage.
No.
I got smarter. I like it.
Are you gonna buy Veil on your position 5 now?
I mean, I don't know if I get away with it on position 5 because if you're walking around, when you have the Veil, you look good. But imagine your position 5 feeding, running around with Helm of Iron Will. That's probably a report, like unavoidable reports. Yeah,
I bought Veil myself. I think the first pub I played was like a day after the patch. I bought it on Wind Ranger. I was like, this is gonna be cool.
On support?
No, it was mid. It was not good. And I found out after the game that you have to click it to do the Veil effect. So that was the first problem.
Yeah, what do you mean? Oh yeah, because they changed that.
It's not. I thought it was an aura, like
no.
that
But now
ceremonial robe.
you also can't target it, right? You just click it around you.
It's an AoE around you.
Okay.
So you do have to click it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's one click. It used to be 2. Less effort.
Oh wait, so you just click it.
You just click it and it applies it around you. I think that's what it is now. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Purge, by the way, I've been playing Arc Warden for quite some time. I have like, I don't know, 150, 200 games in the last couple of months.
You only play Scum Heroes, sounds like?
Sorry?
You only play Scum Heroes, sounds like?
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. Can you explain the hero to me? Because I still don't understand what it does.
I haven't played that hero before.
I think, have you played Arc? He's like the most complicated hero at the moment.
Arc Warden?
Yeah.
I mean...
Because he does one thing on one side, the other on the other.
I didn't play much of it. I played like 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
I'm like your typical Dota boomer. I'm still, to me, like Dark Willow is still kind of
still the new
hero.
Yeah, I feel the same. Yeah.
So it's very slow. Primal Beast, Dark Willow, they're still very new to me.
No.
So one side you do more damage and you have less disable, and the other side you have slightly more disable and
it
slightly less
applies
damage.
quicker also. Like the sparks.
Spark spawns like super fast on the dire side, I think, right? Yeah.
But then your Tempest Double would get the dire effects on Radiant, and on dire your Tempest Double would be the Radiant.
Yeah.
It's way too complicated. Just like pick Wraith King, stun, spawn.
Exactly. One stun. Actually, we have 2 spells now on him, though.
It's
right?
rough.
Like
you can click the ulti, dude. I'm getting headaches from playing Wraith King.
God, that's right.
By the way, you're still competing, so how is it for you to practice all the new heroes? Do you still practice something like a Muerta that came out?
Yeah. I mean, I do sometimes. Like the last year I practiced a lot was Chen, because I never really played Chen, and now I played like 50 or 60 games of Chen. It works. I mean, I'm very comfortable now playing it. You just got to put in the work. But it's hard because like when you're so comfortable with certain heroes, then you have to play other heroes and you get bullied and you mess up. And I think it's even harder when you know what you're supposed to do, but you just can't get it done. To me, that's like the worst.
What's the problem though? As a 5, are you like missing the timings perhaps sometimes?
With 5 is so hard. Like I didn't realize how hard it was. Like I felt like I even wrote Johan. I apologized, because like the first 3 minutes for 5, it's like, whew.
Your head is on fire. Like
oh my god!
You have
so many things to take care of. Like to give you an example, like the starting item build, it can ruin the entire game because like. Is he getting it? Like, let's say you go to the lane, you don't have enough regen. You take a bad trade, you're out of regen. You're missing out on the next wave, meaning you cannot unblock the camp because
your carry is flaming you while that's happening, pinging you.
You can't unblock the camp because you have no regen, and you're gonna die if you do. And if you die, obviously that's another type of flame. Since you're not unblocking the camp, the lane is pushing. Now all the trades are bad. Now you're losing your lane. Now the enemy support, the position 4, he goes to gank your mid or he goes check the rune, and you can't follow him. You're getting owned.
Do you want to lay down on the couch?
Yeah, I could actually. Yes. Only if you're not going to charge me.
No, that's fine.
Okay. But now your mid is crying because he doesn't have the rune,
Yeah.
So now you're losing 2 lanes, meaning you can't fight them. So now your towers are like the whole game is going, to complete chaos just because you didn't buy this one set of tangles. And then I realized that after as a 5, and I'm like, I don't even know what I did wrong. Like what's happening, So you got to watch out about what you buy. Whether you block the camps or you unblock them, where you place the wards, how you
push
they
the
call
lane,
it strafing now. Like basically every single move you make on the lane, when you trade, how you trade, where you position on the lane. I don't know if people think about that, but it's a big
In
thing.
front of the carry, behind, on the side.
To the left,
Yeah.
to the right.
Yeah.
If you know, like, because I don't know, like Dota is so casual, right? And when I started playing 5, I would just go to the lane and I'm just trading, you know?
Yeah.
And then I realized that I lost the lane because I was standing on the left instead of standing on the right because of the matchup. All these little things. And you're also thinking about the rune timings and if you're going to be able to fight them. Now you have to think about the gate because, like, at some point I was doing everything right, and then some idiot is killing me from behind, and my carry is like, I'm dead, I'm dead. I'm like, oh my god, true. Like, he can come from behind, so I need to also ward the...
Yeah.
Dude,
At the same time, your mid laner is crying that the runes aren't secured, your carry is crying that
and
you
I'm
can't
playing
last
Chen,
it.
I got a micro. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my
And
god.
you have to find time to go back and grab a creep somewhere, and hopefully it's not blocked. Yeah.
My brain was like, it was exploding from all the things I had to think about, you know?
Do you avoid position 5 purge or...
No, I play 5 a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I can play every role okay at my rank, which is not high, but no, I like 5. I just don't think about that shit as much. I'm the more brain dead version. I just go to lane and I'm like, I'm gonna trade, and then some games I find I'm like, oh, my hero's not good at trading. I just should have like played for this like 2v2, and so I follow the same formula basically, where I don't think about the minutia of that stuff. I just think like, oh, I'm Witch Doctor. I'm gonna trade, I guess, and I'm trading against some like, I don't know, Marcy or someone that's like really good at trading, and I just lose the lane because of that. But I don't know, I just like autopilot. I like playing Dota on autopilot. I just vibe the whole thing.
I'm the same.
Don't strategy. Forget Roshan exists. I'm just like going somewhere and doing shit and trying to be in the right place to fight.
I'm just gonna put it out there, like, there might be a connection between the fact that you like playing on autopilot and the fact that you're casting these games. There might be.
There might
Yeah,
be.
it
But
does
there
help.
might not.
I
There might just-
accept it. I expect...
But I'm just saying that, you know, not being on autopilot might be better for your
No,
MMR.
man, we're
Yeah.
just Dota boomers. That's it. At some point, I really felt like every single game I want to play on autopilot, right? That's why I play bounty mid. Like I run at someone and ask him, why aren't you dying? If I die, why isn't he dead? You know, that's it. Did I think about that I'm running into 4? Of course not.
I'm diving. Yeah. No, but you know, like in comparison to what supports have to think about, like first 3 minutes, I can give you what happens in a core's brain. It's like every 30 seconds you hear range creep. That's it.
Yeah.
It's so chill, dude. Like you're just chilling on your lane, and they're like range creep. Oh, he pulled. That's it. It's so quiet and peaceful.
Yeah.
And you think about your items and how the game is gonna develop. And yeah, at some point you gotta give back, of course. But oh my god, man! I miss playing core.
I could nerd out about Dota with you too, like for, I don't know. It's just the details. Like I didn't know about the stacking as well. Yeah, same shit.
Do you guys know how magic resistance works? Talk about the new tier 5 neutral item.
But that's not multiplying, right? Magic resistance is, it's less than additive. So it's like if you stack magic resistance,
You mean
you get a lower amount.
diminishing or something like that?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
I think you would say diminishing to describe how the math works, but I personally feel that's not a very accurate way to describe it. The easiest way to think about it is that if you have 25% base magic resistance, and I get another 25% magic resistance, that 75 that you were taking before, 25 of that goes away. So of the remaining damage you're taking, that's how much goes away. So if I get a tier 5 neutral item that gives me 95 magic resistance, that means that of that 75 I was originally taking, there's only 5% of that left. So it's like, it's not necessarily diminishing, but
It
if
doesn't.
they're doing
multiply.
all
Yeah,
magic
it's
damage,
different.
it's super good.
Yeah. This was for Seb, for me, and maybe like 2-3 guys here in the.
Yeah, everyone else knew, yeah.
Everyone else knew, yeah.
By the way, putting Dota aside a little bit, this nerd talk. Have you been enjoying Kuala Lumpur? Like the food,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
We had a nice food testing yesterday that went really well.
Uh-huh.
Oh, dude, Slacks, you should have seen Slacks, like testing the food.
Oh,
so
you did
know-
it here?
Yeah, we did it here on the show, and then you have these leaves under some of the food that they use just to like support the food. And then like as we served the food, we just looked at him and he was like eating the whole thing, like eating the leaf. We're like, what are you
Eating
doing?
leaf.
That you're not supposed. It's like eating a plastic bag, you know, like it's literally the same. And we're like, just stop.
I'm so surprised he doesn't even eat vegetables backstage.
He was going ham. But the food was really good. We tried durian. I don't know if you ever tried it.
I haven't. I've
It's the
freeze
super
dried maybe.
stinky
Yeah, yeah.
fruit that they have.
Did you have the fresh stuff?
That was no, like you mean the fresh? No, I mean I tried it, but to me it's like it's too much. Like I don't enjoy
Basically,
it.
everything he tried failed. Like he tried eating that, he ate the leaf. He tried eating durian, he gagged or something. He tried, was it jackfruit or dragon fruit?
Yeah, it was jackfruit.
Jackfruit, it spilled all over him. It's like...
It was a disaster. It was completely out of control, but it was fun. It was fun. But like the food here, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Local food was great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I ate a bunch at the buffet. Some days I would have boring breakfast. Other days I'd be like, I'm gonna eat this.
Yeah,
weird
you
thing.
wanna just experiment.
Yeah. I'm super down.
I did the same thing today, and I ended up having like chicken sausages and eggs. That's it. Like maybe tomorrow. By the way, is it your first time in KL?
I don't think so. I think there was an ESL tournament maybe like 6+ years ago. I went to one of the Gentings, the second Genting, I believe, maybe the third as well. I can't remember, but so I've been to Malaysia a few times, but it's been a long time.
And what do you think about the crowd and everything? Has it stayed the same? Is the energy higher, lower?
Energy is still excellent, from what I remember. A lot of passionate Dota fans of all ages and genders, so it's a great place for Dota to be. Yeah.
We feel that Dota is like it's king here. Like it's a real game. Like it's a big popular game. I love it.
Yeah. Another tell of that is that at the hotel we had a talent lounge with computers, and one of the mornings I went in to play Dota, and the door opened, I looked over, and it was just a hotel worker, and he was like, hello, he didn't speak English. He's like, can I watch you? And I was like, all right.
Just watch you play Dota?
If this random guy that works at this hotel wants to watch me play pubs,
That's awesome.
I'm like, all right, this guy definitely plays Dota.
Yeah.
I feel like the only place where that happened to me before was Ukraine as well. Like in hotel people, because they just love MOBA games. Dota in particular, like they don't even care about League. I'm happy that no one here is a Mobile Legends Bang Bang fan or anything like that. No, nothing. Yeah.
Nice.
No, but I feel like it's one of these regions, right, that grew up in the, what do you call it, like internet cafe cultures, right?
Yeah.
They always grow, I don't know, the best talent. There's just so many emotions. Like, I think there's like one video about Jopaj.
When he was like
my idol.
super young.
When he was super young,
that's
playing.
crazy.
He can barely fit in the chair. He's still rocking.
But you know, like for instance, my teammates, like Whisper is pretty young, and then I asked him, it's like the way he plays, like there's no way this guy doesn't have like 15 years of Dota, but at the same time he's like 20. So like I'm like, how do you fit in 15 years when you're 20? And I'm like, when did you start playing Dota? And I think he answered, I can't remember if it was 4 or 6.
Yeah.
So
Seriously?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And I think BZM started at 6 for sure, and Whisper might have been 4. So imagine like, I mean, at the end of the day, obviously there's like a lot of talent, sure, but there's also no secret in the sense that they were almost born with
their brains were crafted to be good at
play Dota, and that's why they are so incredibly good and talented. It's in they have Dota in their blood at this point, you know.
Their DNA.
They're just programmed to
it was
just
the same
own at the
today
game.
with Tofu, right? Like his brother, I believe it was his brother in the crowd, and they asked him like, when did he start? And he's like, he would just squeeze in every time we're on a break, and he would just play games. He
like
would,
super young also?
Super young, and he'd be better than them when he was like 7 or something.
I started at like 16, I think, or something. So like I feel so bad when I compare to them. You know, it's like he started at 4, I started at 16. Of course, I stand no chance.
But like Dota didn't really exist much earlier than that. I mean, there were custom games that were similar, but
it was like the first versions, I guess. Yeah. When did you start playing Dota?
I played a Dota-like custom. I mean, I used to play StarCraft custom games, but I played Warcraft 3 custom games a couple months here and there. Okay. And I remember playing a Dota version where you could only go to level 10. You know, like a Rubik's model in Dota 1?
Okay,
you could summon 2 big Wendigo dudes at 6.
I
don't know what version was. I only played it for like a month maybe. And then I stopped, and then I would be like, oh, I remember that cool game. So I'd like come back to it for like a month here and there. But I started playing a lot in college. I started playing again in college, and that was kind of where I stopped. I never dropped it again.
Yeah, I started a little bit with Warcraft, but...
Is Dota 1 still being played like anywhere?
It is.
It's being played?
I think it's still played on
Some people still play Dota 1.
Yeah, they still play Dota 1.
Wow, that's nice.
I feel like there are even tournaments in some countries, like in Serbia or whatever, still played, especially in SCA, I think.
That's crazy, okay, that's cool.
By the way, I'm wearing this jersey. There's a new team coming up with Seb.
Oh, yeah?
And Slacks yesterday told me that I have to be a little bit more controversial on the panel. So, what do you think about this team? Is it going to make it?
You're free to say whatever you think.
You can say whatever.
I mean, I'm a huge Whisper fan. I think almost everybody is. So him joining the team is like instantly like, okay, they're going to do good. I think their team's really solid. I like your guys' squad a lot better than I did last year, I guess. With the Whisper edition, it's just like there's so much star power, I feel like. So, I don't know. Yeah, I have good hopes. I don't know if you're going to be gaming gladiators or anything, but
We'll try, but we're far yet. Like for now, we just need to get through qualifiers.
I mean, I've counted you out before, and then you showed me up. So
yeah,
I always remember we did that Red Bull LAN. This is like years ago, right before you guys started.
Oh, Adrenaline, it was
and
called, right?
you rejoined the team again,
yeah.
and they asked me like, how do you think they're gonna do? And I was like, I'm not holding my breath.
yeah.
And then you guys
was it in Canada?
No, it's the UK.
It was in the UK. Oh yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So
maybe it'll happen.
What you're saying is that you're counter cursing him now by saying that they're gonna do well.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bad sign.
Yeah, you should. You have to say the opposite. That we're hopeless and that we're washed. And
look, I'm gonna be a fan. That's all that matters.
Okay.
I'll be happy when Whisper owns people.
Whisper is he's incredible. Like I think we knew how good he was. Like we thought we knew how good he was. Like he's even better than that. Like
really?
He's crazy good.
How do you guys manage the communication aspect? Because obviously
that's
the
tough part. Because I mean he picks up everything. Like he understands English really well. So we don't even have to slow down or think about the words that we use. Like we can just speak freely and he understands. Like Ari is like obviously he's British, so his English is like at a higher tier than our, like his vocabulary, he's very eloquent and whatever. So sometimes when he speaks, I'm like, Whisper must not have understood anything, and he actually understood everything. But I think he's shy, plus he's not comfortable in English, so adding both, he's very scared sometimes to just like say what he has to say. So it's pretty funny. Like he gives me kind of Anna vibes, because you almost hear nothing, but in the game it's just explosions, you know? So it's like we're losing a fight or something, or we're diving and it's really close and you don't hear anything, and all of a sudden there's like a timber that comes from the weirdest angle and just triple kills them in the back, and he still doesn't say anything. So you just have to like, oh, timber's here, guys. Like we can turn. That kind of stuff.
So you're happy so far with how your scrims are going and everything?
Happy. Super happy. Yeah.
The team has gelled well together. Are you guys planning any boot camps soon or something?
This is the best Dota I've been part in years.
Wow.
Part of. It's I'm more than happy. I was so sad we didn't make it because we had so much to show. So we're gonna keep our head down, keep working, so that we can actually get to these events and perform.
Purge is a believer. I'm becoming a new fan because of this very tight shirt that you guys have given me. Have a lot of fans here from Kuala Lumpur. Guys, I want to thank you for showing up. Thank you for being a part of another OG Monkey Business Show. Bye-bye.